you ever thought what separates the one percenters? Have you ever wondered what's their secret? What are they hiding? What are they not telling us? You see, in this video, we're gonna crack some things that are only the one percenters do. Now, this is not your typical success talk, but I will give you some tips, some things you should care about, some things you should not care about, so stay tuned till the end. Some of these are concepts, some of these are tips. Stay tuned to the last one because it's one of the most important ones. Let me tell you a story. I remember very clearly when I was around people that had the things that I ever wanted. I was a quiet person trying to figure out what's his success, and how is he getting here? How is she getting here? Well, I'll sometimes ask them questions. What's your morning routine look like? Night routine look like? And I will just be with them, right? And I'll make any excuse to be around them. How are they talking to people? How are they answering their phones? When are they answering the phones? Sometimes I would peek in what notifications they had. These are important things that I just wanted to see. And, I realized that majority of people are very different. Not every single person has the exact same routine. You go right now and you talk about success routines, and it's always wake up in the morning and do the same thing and make sure you're having. I will break a lot of these fake ideas out today in this video. So let's talk about number one. Majority of people talk about conquering your morning. Here's my tip. There's some people that like waking up in the morning, some people that don't like waking up in the morning. I used to be able to wake up really, really early, to be transparent. As my life evolved, that's not really the case anymore. The key here to understand is conquering your morning, conquering as soon as you wake up. That's the real key, because whatever you do as soon as you wake up will set the tone for the rest of the day. For me, at this point, I'd wake up, I would pray, I would make sure that I'm reading something, I'm writing something. That's what allows me to have my mind very structured throughout the day. Now, by the way, I know some successful people that wake up to work, and then they, in their downtime, they'll figure out, and we'll talk about downtime, but they'll figure out, I'll read a book here, or I'll read a book here. My point is, whatever you feel your morning routine should look like, do that. Let's talk about number two. I am pretty sure you've heard this all the time. Breakfast matters. The reality is, it does not. I don't have breakfast. I feel like if I eat breakfast, it slows me down. And transparently speaking, a lot of people that are successful that I know, they're always doing intermittent fasting. They start eating at 1, 2 p.m. Now, what they mean by that is breaking your fast matters. And what I mean by that is, even if you're doing intermittent fasting and you're starting eating at 12, 1 o'clock, eat proper food then. Don't be the kind that will just, I'm doing intermittent fasting, and then I'm just going to go eat KFC. That's not how you break your fast. You have to be able to break your fast in certain things that will allow you to have energy throughout the day. Forget the sugars and the donuts and all that. That's all fake, and it would ruin your day. I'm generally saying it will ruin your day. That sugar spike will crash in the middle of the day, and you will not be productive. Here's my tip, an assignment for you. Go on there's these tests that you can do, and you can figure out what your body is able to consume better, what makes your body thrive, what makes your body don't thrive. I know some people that are really bad with meat, people that really thrive with meat, depending on your blood type. So make sure you're doing these tests so you know what your body thrives with. Another thing for me that I used to do is as soon as I wake up, I used to drink that coffee. I'm changing it now to, I'm waiting an hour and a half before I have my first cup of coffee. An hour and a half, I'm just doing water. And then after that, I'll have my coffee. And I noticed, once I tested it out, I noticed that my crash from coffee does not come, in the middle of the day. It comes later in the day. All right, let's talk number 3. Breaking your phone habit, I would say. Now, this is important. Try as much as you can to not look over your phone, and remove the distraction that you need to look over your phone. Some people are like, well, my alarm's on my phone. Go buy an alarm from Amazon. It's $20. That would allow you to not even touch your phone, so you can really kind of move on with your day. Here's the 4th one. Caffeine conscious. I said that, I wake up, I'll wait an hour and a half, 90 minutes, and then I'll have coffee. But I figured when it starts crashing, and I'm not really a fan of having another cup of coffee because I don't want to have this addicted personality. So I'm taking specific supplements in specific times that allow me to have like a little break, and then I'll push after with that energy that I'm getting. Here's number 5. This is probably going to be key, going to help you a lot. They always talk about exercising. Look, depending on what type of exercises you're doing, I'm the kind that I used to work out every single day. That changed over time. I got really busy, traveling all over the world. It's not the easiest. I'm not making an excuse, but listen to me. Try to have a box that you're checking in where you're working out 3 to 4 times a week. That's about it. You're going in, you're doing things there. There are workouts that you can do for 15 minutes. I took this course and it's called the 150 Cycle 150 Habit. And they had a lot of habits are, hey, 15 minutes, you can work out 15 minutes twice a day, and you can really have like the same benefits that you can have and taking specific supplements. You see, my point is make sure exercise is a part of your routine. It doesn't have to be every single day, but it must be sometimes in a week. And take a night during the week where you can play an actual sport so you can really sweat it out. Because a lot of times when you're lifting, there's not really that much sweat in that, but when you're playing sports, you'll be sweating this out. Here's number 6. The notification dilemma. You know what's funny? I'm around people all the time, and there's some people that I meet that are in their upcoming success phase, right? And their phone is just ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, do you want to just put it on silent? He's like, man, I want to be able to catch all the messages that I get. And I said, you don't get it. You see, you're training your mind on that attention span that you have to be able to do, and you don't know how to really focus on one thing for majority of the time. So my advice, that your notifications silent, your notifications are off, and you have times that you're checking this part and that part and that part. I know some of us have Telegram and WhatsApp and emails and this and that and Instagram. My Instagram notifications are off, WhatsApp notifications are off, Telegram are off. All these platforms are off, really. So to me, it's important because I'll know when to check it on my own time, so I'm not rushed into doing anything else. Let's talk about number 7. A lot of you guys have commute time, still have a job, or you have something. Make sure you use that. When I was working, when I had a job, I had to bus like an hour and a half, an hour and 15 minutes. I used and abused it. I didn't have a podcast, a book, something, right? I would have a podcast and a book so I could be switching between them. So important to have something you're doing. Sometimes you can even have like a blitz. Like I know I used to get to like a specific station in the bus, and then from this specific station to this, and I'll start playing mind games with myself, right? From this station to this station, if my business is sales, I'll message 20 people. If my business is marketing, I'll create a marketing, I'll think of a marketing game. And I kept doing that, and it made me evolve. And I've had like a, twice a week, an hour blitz, an hour where I'm messaging people, talking about my product is, and that's how I start growing my business. Let's talk about number 8. Embracing boredom and downtime. You see, I believe if you are bored, and that's okay. That doesn't make, I don't believe successful people are working 24/7, right? That, just bear with me here. But they choose when they have downtime, or I guess bored time, they allow their mind to think, because that's how they generate ideas. You see, successful people are successful because of their ideas. They understand their brain is not meant to memorize things. It's meant to create things. So try to use your boredom time to be creative. Let's talk about number 9, which is hydration. I know. Hydration to me is something that I used to do a lot, and then it kind of faded away. And my excuse was I'm busy. And you want to be able to maximize your body. So for you to maximize your business, remember that majority of your body is water. So try to have hydration habits. I bought this thing on Amazon. It's like a big water bottle that tells you time by time when you should be drinking water. And there's a lot of things that you can buy online to allow you to be in that hydration focus game. Because if you're not really drinking the water, it's going to be a little tough for you to excel to that maximum level. Let's talk about number 10, which is choosing your influences wisely. Now, what do I mean by that? You see, early on in my career, I used to watch a lot of these, mentors on social media. And every single one of them had a different opinion about something. So I'll give you an example. Something about buying a car while you're an entrepreneur. Some people are like, save your money, put it in real estate. Otherwise, the other influencer said, well, how can you sell without having a nice car? The third person, well, you need a car to commute, but you don't need that expensive of a car. And I was always conflicted with these ideas. So my opinion is utilize a system called the one voice, the one person that you will follow all the way to the end, and not be mixing between this example and this steps and this advice and whatever. Try as much as you can to listen to one person and take them all the way. Talking about number 11. You see, as an entrepreneur, sometimes we have this sickness called the impulsive buying sickness. Here's a tip. Whatever you want to buy for your business, right? Write it down on a note, put it on your desk, and wait 3 days before you buy it and see if it's still a good idea. Trust me, 80% of the time, a lot of these days, like, why was I even thinking of buying this? And that's a way that you can save a lot of money. Let's talk about number 12, which is balancing social connections. I'm so much for connections of people outside, sometimes friends, sometimes family, but I'm talking sometimes peer. You see, I believe that you have to divide your time into 3 separate tiers: 33, 33, and 33. See, 33%, you're sitting down with people that are, I wouldn't want to say lower than you, but in the grand scheme of things, you are a mentor to them, right? So that's the 33%. Then another 33% is you're chilling with a lot of people that are your peers. What do I mean by peers? Peers is not always somebody that's up. It's somebody that's on the same level of you as you, that you're competing, you're thinking of these, you're masterminding, and that's really key. And then 33% is where you spend time with your mentor, somebody that will challenge you, a coach, somebody that'll tell you, listen, man, I don't want to hear no excuses. You get this done. That's somebody that is mentoring you and challenging you at the same time. So that's a way so you can learn how to balance your social connections. Number 13 is positive self-talk. I have struggled with this so much, and I know so many people that do. Let me know in the comments if you do as well. It was so hard for me to start switching my mind from a negative state to a positive state. And even if I'm still in the positive state, I still have these negative thoughts that come into my mind. I still have, certain things that happen, and I'm like, and my mind goes to the worst case scenario, not the best case scenario. Train your mind on doing the best case scenario and the worst case scenario, so it balances out. Here's an assignment for you. Open a brand new page, right? And have it's something positive that you're saying to yourself every single day, the same thing for 40 days. And watch how a lot of your language about yourself changes. Last but not least, let's talk about motivation. You see, I get it. I understand. Motivation is important. Motivation is key. But by the end of the day, you want to be a part of the 1%ers. A lot of these people are not even motivated. A lot of these people, you sit down with them, you get depressed. And what I would want you to do is to more focus on the discipline part, that you must do whatever you have to do, rather than I feel doing it or I don't feel like doing it. We all fall into this trap. I fall into this trap plenty of times. I still fall sometimes. But I understood that I must put discipline first. Even if I'm winning 90% of the time, that's still a big ratio. 80% of the time, that's still a big ratio. A lot of us, we start something, we miss one day off, and be like, oh, or a day or 2 days we miss because of vacation or something that happens in whatever. And we let go of that initial burn phase. And it's like, oh, well, I missed 2 days. What's another day? What's another day? What's another day? But disciplined people, they never say what's another day. Let's just say they missed 2 days, they just go back at it and they just make it up. And that's what I advise you to do. Here's some last thoughts. You will always be in development stage. You'll always be growing. There's always going to be something. Excite yourself. Get excited. Get really pumped for a new chapter, a new vision, a new something. Keep recreating yourself. I promise you, you will look down in a couple of years and be like, that person is somebody that put in a lot of work to be where you are today. If you think this add value to somebody, make sure you share it with them. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. And we will see you in a new video anytime soon. Take care, y'all. Peace.